Hello and welcome to another beautiful edition of the Locker Room. Thank God it's Friday on the Voice of the People television as it promises to be exciting this lovely afternoon. I am Jerry Apelohai and we've got a thrilling show for you today. The usual suspects are joining me, talking about Ikechukwu and Mayowa, who will be joining us virtually on the program this lovely afternoon. Ikechukwu, so much going down this weekend. We saw the curtain raiser talking about the Community Shield before the start of the Premier League. The fireworks have already started, and of course, the transfer window is still very much open.
Thank God it's Friday, Jerry. Good evening and good evening to our viewers. It's another very beautiful day to be here, Jerry. Transfer window is still very much open. We saw Arsenal close a very cheap deal yesterday, and Liverpool is, I think the big four, or should I say the big five in England at this point, really want to. I think this is going to be a season that is going to mark an era in English Premier League, because everyone is getting the best quality that can actually make their team strong, and at the end of the day we're going to actually get the very best of. We're going to look back a couple of years later and say, okay, in 2025, 2026 season, certain reasons are actually why this XYZ actually won it, and perhaps we may also go back in history sometime after now to also look at this team, the team that will win this league, as perhaps one of the strongest teams in the history of Premier League. But then in Nigeria, it's a good day to talk football here in Locker Room.
All right, it's a good day to talk football, and who would have thought that there will be a season where Man City will not be the highest spending team in the transfer window? Well, it seems like the days where Man City used to outmuscle other teams in terms of the transfer business is over. It's not in the time. It's not in the past. I never thought I would see such a season, but it is what it is. Mayowa joins us virtually. Mayowa, I know you're counting down to this weekend. Fulham, beware of Fulham. It's going to be a very bloody one this weekend.
Well, thank God it's Friday. I'm looking forward to the EPL and a whole lot of fireworks in the EPL. However, it's been a mix of emotions for me. Peter Rufai getting the journey back home. There are a whole lot of revelations made. I saw a couple of videos. The family were struggling to get funds to be able to do a proper burial for him. And, a whole lot of mixed emotions. We tend not to take care of our legend. And I saw some comments from Nigerians, and it made me really, really sad. A whole lot of Nigeria felt this 94 set, they are entitled and the rest of that, and a whole lot of things were said. And, it made me really sad. And sometimes when players decide not to play for Nigeria, we see the reason why. We have a federation that doesn't care about, our legend. Nobody raised an LPN for Peter Rufai. Now that he's passed on, somebody decided to give him 15 million after so much cry. It's so unfortunate. But in any case, we keep talking. And I hope those that run football, they get to listen and do the right thing for those that have actually served Nigeria and brought honors to Nigeria. It's a good Friday to talk football. Thank you for having me, Jerry.
Yeah, it's a good Friday to talk football. I didn't want to start on a sad note because I will get to that part. And of course, I've been carrying out my investigation as far as this matter is concerned. But I also want to say that for those who are watching us on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP TV Live. We are also on TikTok, Twitter, as well as Instagram. And we're also on LCL TV channel 264, where you can get to watch us on cable. And you can also contribute on the show via the WhatsApp number showing on your screen to join the conversation. And of course, also drop your comments on the YouTube platform. As the show progresses, we'll try as much as possible to take as much as we can. And the T of today's show, we start off with TARIBO West. Definitely, he got a lot of attention when he said that he will never allow his son to play for the Super Eagles. As a pure waste of time, that the heroes are not well taken care of, and so on and so forth. It generated a lot of controversies and conversation. Meanwhile, the reports were that even the Lagos state government supported the burial. I think they said it was 15 million, which my wife was trying to say. And of course, TARIBO West condemned the NFF, abandoning the family of late goalkeeper Peter Rufai, who passed away in July 2025. And TARIBO expressed deep disappointment over the neglect of Nigerian football heroes, describing the situation as disheartening and disgraceful. He recalled similar cases involving legends like Stephen Keshi, Rashidi Yekini, and Thompson Oliha, and stressing that the poor treatment of ex-players discourages him from motivating his children to represent Nigeria in football. TARIBO revealed that Rufai's family had to solicit financial help from friends and colleagues for support, calling it a shameful reflection of the country's disregard for its sports icons. And of course, the former Inter Milan star, visibly emotional, stated that he would never advise his son to play for Nigeria under such conditions. He questioned the relevance of the football authorities, accusing them of abandoning national heroes after their service, despite the sacrifices they made for the country. Yeah, it seems like this is a recurring decimal as far as the situation of ex-internationals is concerned. So football has proven to be a sport where retirement is not really a good one, most especially for those who started back in the days. Even the recent ones, if you don't spend wisely, you might not get. And I know that Peter Rufai was supposed to be from a royal home. And I remember there's a story how he rejected the royal stool of being a king. And maybe if he was a king when he passed away, he wouldn't need to wait for the government. But 15 million, I don't know the kind of burial the family were trying to organize. He's a football icon, definitely. They are going to expect a lot of people, dignitaries, and to give him a befitting burial as a national icon. There are ways to go about it. He should even be a state burial because Peter Rufai was a legend. He played in 2 World Cups, 94, 98. He won the Nations Cup for Nigeria. He was our #1 goalkeeper. He was a pinnacle of goalkeepers in Nigerian football. He lived to the highest, Even when he stopped playing football, he was still serving. He was still giving his best to football. And I even heard the way he even passed on was not even an interesting one. It's a pretty sad one that it has now become a trend, which is sending a signal to the future heroes. Because if it happened to Stephen Keshi, Rashidi Yekini, and recently to Peter Rufai, what happens tomorrow if TARIBO West has gone to meet his maker? I know Chairman Christian Chukwu's burial is around the corner. I don't know how the plans are for that one. So, what is it about not remembering our heroes past? What is it about Nigerian football, especially, even the sporting fraternity?
So it's not surprising that this is happening, even though it is sad, but it's not surprising. You cannot expect someone who does not care very well for his pet when it's alive to care much for the pet when it's dead. Do you understand? Say, for example, you own a pig farm and you don't even look at them. You're interested in for them to just, give birth and then you sell. That's what you're interested in. Their welfare, how they live, what they eat is not a problem. Just give me the piglet and
just give me the money that comes out of the business.
So when the piglet eventually dies, it's not a problem for you. You just look at it and hope to get another one. That's the lens. That's exactly how things work in this part of the world. And when ex-international like this, like TARIBO West that has attained this level, starts speaking in this tone, it's doomed for our football. And I'll tell you this why. These guys, we established this in the Osimhen situation. And when this ex-international starts speaking, it doesn't just end here. It reverberates, it re-echoes across their clique in the world. And we have Nigerians born in Italy, Nigerians who want to even play for Inter Milan. And when people, top players and legends start speaking about Nigeria and how they treat their players, when they retire or even when they get injured, these young lads will be skeptical about coming home. And now for a nation that has failed to actually set up a proper grassroots development plan, it's going to be terrible. That means we don't even have hope of getting the foreign-born Nigerians again. This is how terrible the situation is now. So we will have to do with Remo Stars 11 or the players that are barely taken care of in the Nigerian league to go persecute our games abroad. Maybe this is going to be the beginning of a new era. Maybe this is going to be that point where we have to sit back and start asking ourselves, where did we get it wrong? I remember the case of Rashidi Yekini. I still remember clearly. And one of the highlights of Rashidi Yekini's death, I'm talking about the comments now, was that Rashidi Yekini died like a destitute. A man who scored the first World Cup goal for Nigeria. A former African Footballer of the Year. I mean, what has our politicians done that for the nation that would demand or warrant them giving themselves state burial or increasing their salary while in office? While people who have brought honor and put Nigeria on the global stage positively will go down just like somebody who has nobody. Today, like you said, it is Peter Rufai. Tomorrow, it could be any other person. The likes of JJ Okocha and Kanu, with all of their clout in modern day football, this is the time for them to actually speak up and start fighting for even if not for themselves now, but for the generation yet unborn and for the players presently in the Super Eagles. Because these sort of things will not continue. And to be very honest with you, right, this is not just a Nigerian problem. It cut across Cameroon and all other African countries in sub-Saharan Africa. So this is not even a Nigerian problem. There was a case of a Cameroonian legend that was left like that too. So we can go on and on. It is a very big problem. We have a terrible maintenance culture. Naturally, when players get to the peak of their career, hits that level where they become global stars and they retire, you don't just throw them outside. They contribute to the development of the sport. Look at France. People running French football today are the class of 98. The class of 94 are supposed to be the ones running our football today. Every single country, every single generation that have brought a glory to football in that particular country ran football until that generation passed to another generation. It is no argument that people who are currently running Brazilian football, perhaps many of them are dead now, but the ones that are still there will be there until next generation picks it up. Are the class of 1970 in Brazil. Go to Italy, the same thing. This generation will always be around the influencing and running their football because they are actually champions. They know what it means to bring in new champions. There are research where scientists, when they want to do, if you're familiar with horse racing, they go take the DNA of a particular horse that is very fast and wins a lot of races. They'll take that horse DNA and then take another one that is fast, and then they compare it. The one that is faster, they'll use the seed from that one to create another horse via artificial insemination, and then they continue producing champions. There's plethora of examples across the world that we can always look back and see how things is done, but we don't copy those. We always want to copy the one that is, you say, they are also corrupt in that part of the world. It is so sad.
We take examples from what's going wrong to give an excuse. To justify that
the wrong that we do here.
We are not the only one. Maiwa, the situation has become a tradition, talking about abandoning those who has done well for this country. And that will also discourage those who are even coming up. So what is now the hope? Because we still have a lot of legends who definitely are not going to live forever. Where does it come to a full stop? Where does it say that enough is enough? Let's do the right thing so that tomorrow posterity will judge all of us, because somehow we may also find ourselves in administrative positions, because it has become a situation where those who don't even go to the pitch to play the football are even richer than the footballers when they eventually retire. Is that bad? Yeah, some can say the footballers don't even help themselves. They squander their money, live anyhow. But yeah, leave that aside. What happens to honoring their memory when they go away, so that those who are playing today will know that when I leave, imagine the kind of burial that was given to Maradona. A lot of Argentina players will want to die on the pitch, knowing that, yes, when Maradona left, this was the kind of honor he got. In England, the England players will know, yes, you are recognized, you are given titles, you are honored to play for the Three Lions. Jerry, because they celebrate the caps. Do you know that in England, if you have even just 3 caps play for England, they celebrate it.
Jerry, look at Diego Jota. Every single game. Peter Rufai now, league is about starting. We will watch it now, we'll see it. You understand how much of a value they place on a legend like that.
There'll be tiny nylon or something in their hand.
So you understand you understand what.
Anyway,
see.
Okay.
So let me share a very horrible story with you. Ikechukwu mentioned Rashidi Yekini, and anybody that knows of her very well, there's a place called, before you enter Jagwe, immediately you enter Ofa. The mother of Rashidi Yekini has a house there. Rashidi Yekini built the house for his mom. I visited that woman twice, and in my conversation with her, one of her regrets was ever having Rashidi Yekini play for Nigeria. Rashidi Yekini died like a destitute. The woman was still embittered, was so bitter till she passed away. I had an opportunity to speak to her twice, and a whole lot of revelations she made. I could not but shake my head for a legend that represented Nigeria. Even after Rashidi Yekini passed, apart from the house, there was nothing aesthetic about the house. The old woman was living in abject poverty. The house is very popular in Ofa, and you have community members, trying to take care of the woman. That is as bad as it gets. Somebody that scored the first goal for Nigeria at the World Cup. Somebody that was instrumental to getting Nigeria to the World Cup. Somebody that won the Nations Cup for Nigeria. I saw a lot of comments online. They were paid and the rest of that. The same people promised them house in 1994. They did not redeem it until about 30 years after. Is that the same people that will take care of our legend?
If they redeem the house, why is Yekini's mother not staying in that house? Who is staying in that house?
Yeah,
that's the question.
That's what I'm saying.
So who collected the house?
The house of Rashidi Yekini, where is it at the moment?
Why is the mother or the family member not enjoying the house?
Nobody knows. Anybody that knows of her very well,
they will tell you they've done it, but there's no evidence. There's no evidence. No walk-ins, nothing, no doings. It's pretty sad.
The last interview of Peter Rufai, it was with Godwin and I saw the video and I was shaking my head. Peter Rufai was practically, appearing in bones. He was practically looking. And no disrespect to him, he was practically looking like somebody that is battling with AIDS. And I'm not saying he has AIDS, but you know how severe it is. He was looking malnourished, and he was talking about releasing his book. If you look at the house Peter Rufai died, you will shake your head. And these are the things. And it's so annoying. Somebody came out and said Lagos government gave 15 million naira for the burial. Where were they when Peter Rufai was struggling? Nobody raised a single finger. And yet we have an FA president that traveled to France to go and massage leg of Moses Simon. They can't spare part of the money to take care of of our legends. And a lot of people, and the comment I saw on social media was so disheartening. Yes, these guys, they play for Nigeria and the rest of that and stuff like that. Yes, they got some money. Yes, they didn't know how to manage their money very well and just that. But aside that, are we supposed to allow them to die like a destitute? Are we supposed to allow them, to go on notice that it took the family of Peter Rufai to be begging for burial fund before Lagos State FA decided to show up and give a measly 15 million when they were supposed to have taken care of him when he was alive? What happens to the NFA, the Football Federation, creating a fund to ensure that there is money available to take care of the needs of any of our, ex-international that needs medical help? What happens to it? This is not the first time. This is not the second time. Okpayaji died on the field of play. What happened to the family of Okpayaji? And this is about 38 years ago. What happened to the family of Okpayaji? I mean, see, we just need to do better. And a lot of people have been giving TARIBO West a whole lot of stick. How do you willingly allow your children, your kids, to represent Nigeria when what they get at the end of the day is disrespect and disgrace? How can Peter Rufai die like a destitute? How can Rashidi Yekini die like a destitute? The mother of Rashidi Yekini, I remember what she said to me clearly. That's about 12 years ago. She said, àbámọ̀ kan tí mo ní ni pé ọmọ mi ó gbá bọ́ọ̀lù fún Nigeria, meaning the regret I ever had was my child playing for Nigeria national team. And that word sank with me for many, many years. It's so unfortunate we find ourselves in this situation. And the NFA and these people running football, they need to take a look at themselves, at the kind of shame they are bringing to Nigeria. And for those Nigerians that go on social media because you have data on your phone and you insult all these legends, I hope Nigeria does not happen to you. It's just so unfortunate. I'm really annoyed. I'm just trying to control myself. It just does not make any sense, to be honest.
Yes, the world. I hope Nigeria doesn't happen to you. It's happening to us every day. It's happening to everybody every day. It's just that some people have decided just to be callous and not see with reasoning, because it's not everybody that's on social media that have common sense. That's just the truth.
The truth is, our politicians are so terrible that when something happens, what would have cost them maybe 10 million naira to put Rufai back, to life and let him carry on with his life, they would rather, now that he's dead, they would rather spend over 30 million naira for PR, buy people data to start, fighting people who are actually saying this is actually wrong. That's how terrible and that's how low our politicians are. Because on a very good day, this sort of things should not even generate any backlash from an average Nigerian that is going through the same very hot spot that all of us are in. But it's so sad. I mean, people are hungry, so people will definitely take anything to actually stay alive. And people can, how much is your conscience? Anyways, your conscience is as cheap as biscuits. So if they can actually afford the data and give you 20,000 naira, that's going to keep you on till another gig comes where the government is okay, another work don't come, hustle, take 20K, go make you begin the fight with the fight government. So it's so sad. It is the harsh reality that we are in, and this is not going to be the last time, because the thing is, there's something about Nigeria. If something happens, we have this very 2 minutes rage, right? And when that 2 minute rage passes, Nigeria moves on. And then it happens to another person, there's another 2 minute rage and Nigeria moves on. It's a recurring decimal. They know that, I'm talking about politicians now, they know that this is exactly how we think. Because I ask myself a very simple question. Why is it so difficult to even put this, that, okay, we may not be able to do anything for you, but when you die, it is the state that is going to handle your burial. And it's let that just even be the barest minimum, to even take the family off, the burden of the family. Rufai is not someone who will die and then will be having this sort of conversation. He set the standard for, the top goalkeepers that we are having today. It's not like we've not had good goalkeepers before him, but when he came, he kept the standard somewhere, and ever since, if we see a good goalkeeper, we'll know this one, because we've always seen our goalkeepers through the lens of Rufai. It is so sad. The class of 94 will always be, that sense that actually made Nigeria a top house, a top gun in football in Africa, and even in the world.
Anyway, it's a very heavy situation. I pray that the soul of Rufai will rest in peace, because definitely even the ones who are present will not be happy, and those who have left will be rolling in their grave, knowing that even the ones who are coming will start making plans. Don't wait for the government. Don't wait for anybody to do anything for you. Yeah, just try as much as possible, do what you can, and it's pretty sad. We call on those who are responsible, and in terms of the government, the NSC led by Shehu Diko, the lines of Olokbade, and the NFF, a no-show president. I know he would have come there to start laughing and taking pictures and looking for who to shake so that people will see that he came there, but he will not be active. I can't wait for this dispensation to end. And Felix Ayansiago is also part of this board. The likes of Fresh, and so on and so forth. What have been their legacy so far? We've just been hearing a lot of things that shouldn't even happen. These are minor, these are things, it doesn't cost them from arranging 100 million and arrange a proper burial for this young man and settle the family. You know, at least they are giving audio $100,000. Okay.
$100,000 that they said they will not. That they said the girls were rejecting.
They defended this. They defended.
That's what I'm saying. They said the girls were.
They said the girls didn't want naira.
Jerry, do you believe
$100.
Do you even believe that kind of thing?
It's possible. It's possible.
Jerry,
it's possible. The
how many of them have seen 100 million before?
The thing is that, let me now tell you the story. Yes, they will reject the naira. Why?
Naira equivalent of that money.
Calm down.
I don't even believe they will reject.
They will reject the naira. It's possible, but they would have also got the feelers that the man who's collecting the money has collected dollars, but he will want to go and change it to naira so that he will also make his own cuts.
But Jerry, wait. The question we should be asking ourselves.
Yes.
They all know the
That's just what happened. See, the
Jerry,
federal government will release the dollars, cash. I'm telling you. Then those who are in the NFL, those who are there, will now say no. Let's change it to dollars, because by the time they start changing, they will start changing bank charges, BDC charges, and so on. By the end of the day, they will get only maybe 900 out of 999,000. You will not be up to $100,000. Before you know, $1,000 would have found its way out of the money. And by the time you remove $1,000 from 23 players, they've done the math.
No, Jerry, what I'm saying
that's just the politics that went on. Jerry, and the lady said no, give us the full money in dollars. We have dollar accounts, pay it to the dollar account.
Jerry, let me ask you a question. They all know the current value of naira to dollar, right?
Yes.
So if that current value falls short, that's when they will be crying wolf.
If they see,
no,
you can cry wolf for all they care.
No. Are
you not aware that there will be charges when they are transferring the money to naira?
Jerry, you don't understand.
You'll be aware now.
Jerry, you don't understand what I'm saying.
See, your boss says you should give you $1,000. Me, I should give you $1,000.
Jerry, you are see.
Okay.
The federal government is the one saying that these girls are rejecting this money.
It's not the federal government.
Why didn't the federal government come out to debunk it?
It's not the federal government.
Why didn't the federal government come out to debunk it?
It was those who are busybodies. Calm down.
Jerry,
I know where this information came from.
I'm not disputing it.
I'm telling you the truth.
Jerry, I'm not disputing what you're saying. I'm saying, why didn't the government come out? Just like you now. You're supposed to give me, Jerry, you're supposed to give me money. And then you decide to give it to Maiwa. Let me explain it now.
See, the government has done their part. They don't need to start defending.
Why didn't the government come out? Since the girls are saying no.
Who is the government?
Who is the
government?
The president. It was the president that said the federal government.
Olopade, let me quote him, said that the girls have been paid.
That's what I'm saying now.
So let me now tell you, you don't expect Shehu Diko, after making sure that the government drops the money, he will now be going up and down, be telling Rashidat, drop your number. He will now be writing it down. Drop your number, drop your account number. He won't do that. That's not his responsibility. No. The government won't do that.
Jerry,
the government will expect the See, let me tell you how government works.
You give me money to Maiwa, and I'm telling you I didn't see the money. Is it not your position as the godfather to come out and say, why didn't they get the money?
Let me tell you one thing. Do you know that as we speak, the president may never be aware that this story is up, that these girls have not received their money?
It's not possible. Jerry.
That's true.
It's very possible.
Jerry, it's not possible.
The people around him will make sure that information see. The president has a lot. The president currently now is in Japan fighting for how revenue come to the country. They are talking about insecurity.
He want to borrow.
They are finding security and many other things. So imagine he's scrolling newspaper. Is this sport? He will first of all go and check.
Jerry, these presidents get briefings now.
Who will brief him? Is it not human being that will brief him?
He has people in his cabinet now.
The person will brief him and decide not to brief him about money issue. So what will he do? He will go and learn for briefing that when he sees that economy is going down, is that the briefing before him? He will be interested in that one first. So it's Rashida that didn't see money that he has already released. That's what he will be bothered about.
But he was briefed to watch the final. And,
that is because
at the time around 11 p.m.
See, at the time, calm down. Leadership it's cumbersome. I don't want to be the one who will just start blaming the head all the time. We look at the things that leadership is about branches. There are a lot of people who will work around the presidency. Shehu Diko, for instance, who may also not be aware.
How?
It's possible.
No, Jerry, this thing is everywhere now.
It's everywhere. Doesn't mean
No, Jerry, no. See, Jerry, no.
he will not be aware until maybe this show comes up,
no, Jerry,
or somebody before him Jerry, says that this is what is happening.
Jerry,
he will not be aware. See, we are privy to this information because, for instance, this is our circle. There are people who are in the banking sector who will never tune to sport for the next 6 months until when it has gone viral.
But this story went viral now.
How viral? It has not still gone viral.
That the guests haven't been paid.
It hasn't gone viral. Have we even we've not had that conversation. We have not. We have what put as an headline. It has not been an headline yet for us on locker room.
But we've had a conversation on a couple of occasions.
We said it.
That
we said we're going to talk about it. It's today we are just even bringing it up. Two of us, we have not had a headline topic for that issue because I'm still waiting to follow up stories so that I will not be talking by the wayside.
Yeah, definitely. We have not get to speak about it. However, I think I want to point out something. See, the presidency, sometimes the presidency is put in the dark, and I'm not trying to support the president. A whole lot of people around him will shield information for me, and they will filter information that will get to him out. So if they don't want him to see something, he will not see it because it cannot be everywhere. And that's just the honest truth. However, the sport commission head, right, has the responsibility to ensure that the girls are paid, has the responsibility to ensure that they get their money completely. So this falls under Shehu Diko and his team. How he's going to do it, that will be his own cup of tea. But we cannot, put that under the presidency when he has already made the announcement of releasing the money. It's now the head of sport commission that will ensure that the money is paid. But in any case, I mean, it has not been a topic we are discussing here. But when we discuss it, I know those that are trying to sit down on the money, they will do something about it. It's just crazy the kind of environment we find ourselves. They will release money and some people want to sit down on it and want to take their cut, something that they did not sweat for. This is the kind of environment we find ourselves, and it's just so unfortunate.
All right, it's just so unfortunate. But let's talk about the future. And of course, I know Ikechukwu is excited about this. Nigerian Super Eagles have announced their provisional squad for next month's crucial 2026 World Cup qualifiers against Rwanda and South Africa. And the biggest surprise is the inclusion of 15-year-old goalkeeper Ebenezer Harcourt, who made headlines during the 2024 CHAN tournament. And of course, his rapid rise has now earned him a first senior call-up as the team prepares for decisive fixtures. And of course, head coach Eric Chell has also recalled Akko Adams, Benjamin Frederick, Chidozie Awaziem, and Terence Murphy to strengthen both attack and defense. However, no NPFL player was invited as the coach once again opted for foreign-based professionals. The squad will open camp in Uyo on September 1 before facing Rwanda at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium on September 6, and then traveling to Bloemfontein for a high-stakes clash with South Africa 3 days later. And of course, Nigerians currently sit fourth in Group C with 7 points, trailing leaders South Africa on 13, with Rwanda and Benin Republic tied on 8. Only the group winners will qualify automatically for the World Cup, while the second place risks a playoff route, with qualification hopes hanging in the balance. Shell emphasized the importance of beating Rwanda at home before taking on South Africa, stressing that both games are must-win encounters for the Super Eagles. Mayowa Harcourt has made the cut. Yes, he's our hope, a renewed hope. If anything happens to Stanley Wambali, you will see Harcourt in goal, the 15-year-old fantastic goalkeeper.
Sorry, I'm laughing.
I understand you. Take it in. Okay, maybe Ikechukwu will have a better submission of this. Ikechukwu. We are going to play Rwanda and South Africa. At least you said you should not be worried. At least Harcourt is there for us. Star boy.
Let me compose myself. Let me compose myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, see, the thing is this. Why do we need an Harcourt? Why do we need our fast rising 15-year-old prodigy. Why do we need him in this game? He does not have the experience, and this is not the kind of game we should be. Apart from the fact that he's a brilliant 15-year-old with a dread and everything, very brilliant 15-year-old. We don't need him in our national team at the moment. Emphasis on 15-year-old. We don't need him in our national team at the moment. He doesn't have the experience. I think there are better goalkeepers that could stand in for Stanley Nwabali. And to be honest with you, and I'm not disrespecting our coach, in as much as he's 15 and he's very good and the rest of that is very huge and good for 15-year-old. I think it's disrespectful to the other goalkeepers that we have in the league that could have probably, step up and be counted for, for this kind of tournament. I don't think our coach is the right person to deputize Nwabali in case anything happens to him. I think the coach is making a huge mistake. I don't think it's the right call.
Why is it the goalkeepers, the 30 years of goalkeepers that fail to step up? At least you have to catch them young. You have to catch them young now.
Our 15-year-old goalkeeper will do the magic.
You catch them young now, at least. Ikechukwu. I understand you.
Well, see, the thing is, the last game against Congo,
He did well.
if you go back to that game, he did
Excellently well.
And he composed himself very well.
And he came out with a clean sheet.
And for a 15-year-old to be that composed
yes,
in a game like that, in his first major tournament, because that's bigger than any tournament he's participated in, it says a lot about his confidence level. Well, he might not, based on his profile, he might not be the right person to actually, be in that Super Eagles list, because of course he's not the first choice goalkeeper for any of the top 5 Nigerian league club side. So it says a lot about his level. But then he's shown that he can be better than any of those goalkeepers they actually took to chance. Unfortunately, we were unable to see the Imba goalkeeper, a very fantastic goalkeeper, any day, anytime. I can vouch for him. I've seen him play, even in a continent when Imba played against the Egyptian side. But at this point, right, even if he's not going to be in goal for any of the games, which I know is most likely going to be the case, it's going to be good for not just his confidence level, it's also going to help other young players in the league to know that all it takes to break into the national team is to give a good account of yourself. That's from where I'm looking at it from. I don't expect him to man in goal for the Super Eagles when these games come. But I know it's a very good one for him, and it's going to also help every other person knowing that, okay, I'm in Nigerian league today, but if I give a good account of myself, if I step up my game, there's no way I will not get a call up to be part of Super Eagles. And that's how I'm actually seeing it. And I want to believe that, yes, giving him the chance to be part of the Super Eagles. I know that after this doubleheader, we're going to play a friendly match where he's going to really be given another opportunity to prove his worth. So
what it means that anything happens to Nwabali now.
He's not the second choice goalkeeper now. We're going with 3 goalkeepers.
Who's the second choice?
He's just part of the squad.
Who's going to be the second choice?
We don't know yet. Jerry.
Okay.
He's going to be 3 goalkeepers. Nwabali is the first choice. They just said Awazim has been recalled, another goalkeeper, Terry Murphy. These guys were one Super Eagles players that were left out. It's just a recall. So these are the names that have not been part of the Super Eagles for a while, including the new revelation, which is Ebenezer that made the cut.
Maybe.
Well, as Ikechukwu said, it's going to be a confidence booster. It's also going to be an example for all other 15-year-olds that we have that are playing football.
Why are you emphasizing on 15 years old?
No, we want to catch them young now.
Say young players. Maiwa, say young players.
That's what I'm saying now.
Why you say 15 years old?
You'll be the youngest goalkeeper to start.
Yes, say young players. Why you say 15 years old?
Jerry, it's not Jerry now.
So do better to enter the national team.
Maiwa.
All other 15 years old, it's you encourage.
It is well. It is very well.
What is the word? That the boy is not good, or it's not 15.
Go help us. Why are you
Nobody has said that.
Is anybody saying that? Congratulations. At least you've succeeded. At least you said the under 20 will eventually make the Super Eagles.
And he did.
And he did. So we can say the prophet is working. He's working in tandem with talking about with Eric Chell. I just wish Eric Chell all the best, because that Rwanda game, my eyes will be on that game.
We all
Yes, our eyes will be on that.
Be on that game.
Okay, time really fast spent. We'll have to wrap it up. And of course, the Premier League tonight, West Ham takes on Chelsea. And of course, it's going to be a very big game at the Olympic Stadium. West Ham is at home. And Chelsea drew their first game against Crystal Palace. And of course, we understand that Ibrahimovic is on his verge of moving to Arsenal. And of course, Crystal Palace is going to be in trouble. Maguire is also looking like he's on his way out. Two key men in that Crystal Palace side.
Yes, it's going to be a lot for them. I don't know how they're going to actually hold this because Ebere is the most creative force in Crystal Palace team, and Gohi is the strong man at the back. So I don't know how they're going to actually go through the season. The season already started. They've already built. I want to believe they've already built their team already, and now they're also going to Europe without these two key players. It's going to be a lot for them to actually deal with. But then it's one of the price you pay for being a smaller team in the league. The big boys will always come to pick, to cherry pick your best, and it's unfortunate.
All right, of course. So the fixtures this weekend, the Premier League. Your pick of the bunch.
Well, I'm hoping Manchester United will do something better. I think the way they've been playing has improved. But the major game I'm looking at is a Tottenham, versus Man City game. It's going to be a bigger test for Thomas Frank and Pep Guardiola. A lot of people have said the first game was a fluke and just which I don't agree. I think Guardiola is building something special, and I will not be surprised if he's able to push the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal to the end of the season. I'm looking forward to that game. I want to see how a Thomas Frank with Tottenham handles, a top team like Man City. So that will be the game for me. But for me, I think probably maybe a Man City will take it. But I'm waiting to see how the game pans out.
All right, of course. So that's where the cookies crumble. Have a great weekend, Maiwa and Ikechukwu.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure having you guys. All right, big thanks to the team behind the scene for being awesome on the show this afternoon. My name is Jerry Pella. I say thanks for being a part of the show. Up next is Political Lens with Chukwuma Okoro. Have a great weekend.